I just arrived exactly at the center of the world. But could all of this be a big lie? Does the world really have a center? Right here where I am is where the world is divided between north and south, but for what reason wouldn't this be the center of the world and all of this here be a big lie? That's exactly what I'm going to tell you in today's video. Yes, I came to the Equator line, more specifically to the middle of the world monument, that famous monument that's close to the city of Quito, the Ecuadorian capital. They say that even a person's balance is different here and that even an egg can stand upright. But is that true? I'll show you everything and reveal the truth in today's video. Here, eating guinea pig is common. The Andean people ate it often in the past. Now it's less frequent, but still happens. Look, the lady balancing over there. Everyone takes a photo here at the center of the world. Of course, I took mine too. I'm not crazy, right? Let's go. I flew from Chile to Quito, Ecuador, then took a 40-minute Uber from downtown Quito to get here. It's easy to reach the entrance. For $5, you can access the park and its facilities, including the monument we're about to visit. This spot is supposed to be latitude 0 degrees, 0 minutes, 0 seconds on Earth, but there's an error. To go up, it's about 30 meters high, and along the way there's a museum where you can learn a little more about Andean life. So, that's how the locals, especially some of them, still live, right? But mainly before the Spanish arrived, and it's pretty crowded here. It's open from Monday to Friday until 5 in the afternoon. I think it's always crowded because it's not open on weekends. Show a little of Galapagos too, right? Ecuador is rich as a continent and is beach. We went up to the center of the world. What's here? Estevam, what do you think? Pretty disappointing. I'm not going to lie. This monument was built to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the French geodesic expedition, which would prove the fact that the law of gravity shows the Earth is not exactly round, but rather a flattened sphere. So we know that besides the Earth not being flat, it's not completely round either. Actually, it's a sphere. I'll show a picture. Everyone knows this, right? Hope you paid attention in geography. They say this is the Earth's closest point to the Sun and its largest diameter. So, if you took a measuring tape and wrapped it around the Earth, this would be the widest diameter of the whole globe. And that's also why it's the place where gravity is the weakest. Officially, right behind me, you can see the N for north and the S for south, because theoretically this line would divide the world in two. Estevam, but you just said that this is exactly the closest point to the Sun, the middle of the Earth. Why is that? This is wrong. It's really wrong. Just a reminder, we're in this city called Pichincha, which is right next to Quito, but it's not Quito. Now, there are phenomena that only happen here on the equator line. And that's what I wanted to show you, because nowhere else in the world do we have such a unique influence of gravity as we do here. This is a great place for families, and kids especially love it. People enjoy coming here, and we'll be doing experiments in this park. There's a pretty famous museum here to show the difference in geographic influence, right? The influence of gravity at the Earth's poles. When you cross the line, things change. For example, in Brazil, the toilet flushes the opposite way compared to the United States. Yeah, you can also eat typical foods, try local Andean drinks. It's a really cool cultural experience, really nice, and I thought the price was super fair. Or little shops with local crafts, and they say it's the Andean people themselves who get this money, right? That really helps and supports the local native community. There's even a brewery, look. Here we can understand a little more about the complex, right? Here is the monument where we were and the various activities, shops and breweries around it. There's even a boutique hotel here, right in the middle of the world. And one of the things everyone does here is obviously walk along the line to see if you feel better balanced, because they say gravity's right here in the middle. But actually, to walk on the equator line, your legs would need to be 1 or 2 kilometers apart since the line is so narrow. It's more than 1 kilometer wide and over 60,000 kilometers in diameter. So when someone asks you, oh, do you think you're the center of the world? You say, I don't know, but the equator is. Now, the museum we want to visit isn't inside this complex. We have to leave and walk for 5 minutes. Let's go. If you don't want to walk, there's also a little train that's included. Look, the little train of Ecuadorian joy. Guys, here's a really important tip for you. When you come to take a picture here, everyone crowds over there. Look, it's a line of people because that's the first entrance, but there are 4 cardinal points: east, west, north, and south. You can go to quieter spots with no one around. Here, people are rehearsing, but over there and on the other side, it's empty. Come in small groups and avoid crowded areas. Sometimes when you're taking a picture or making a video on your trip, a small detail can save you time and help you get much better photos. Just happiness, by the way. To get there, you have to leave the complex near the road and walk about 5 or 10 minutes. They could have just integrated it, right? They put up a fence, so you have to leave and buy another ticket. Just sell tickets together. That's how combo sales work, but combo sales aren't allowed, right? Anyone can add the upgrade. The museum is right over there. Look, that's the truth. We show it's just one place. You have to go this way, see the museum, 5 or 10 endless minutes. Guys, we're on our way and we'll make it. We always do, right? Travelers, it always works out. In the end, that's great, and I feel really safe. Ecuador is so peaceful. I'm in this alley. Here at the entrance of the museum, let me tell you, Mrs. Ecuador, you should invest a little in this, right? This is the main attraction, right? When you think of Ecuador, when you're in Quito, right? The city, you think, man, I'm going to the equator line. It's disorganized. Where do you get tickets? This place is confusing. Okay, I think it's this way. Latitude 00000. Just a reminder, it's only open from 9:30 to 5, okay? Stay focused, manage your time, and keep your receipt. Just passing through here, it already gets much better. Hey, look how cool. Hello over here, my friend. Oh, thank you, I was lost here. A woman told me to buy the ticket over there, so I'm going. I just found her friends. There's no entrance gate, right? Hi, good afternoon. 1 adult, please?
Here it is, sir.
Can I pay by card?
Yes. Where are you?
From Brazil.
Welcome.
Thank you. We buy it here. Tickets are $5 and you can pay by card. Thank God. Now let's learn about the middle of the world. I have to wait 3 minutes for the tour to buy water, so let's see what's interesting here. Hello, how are you? There's a really nice coffee shop here. I'm waiting for the tour to start. It takes about 5 minutes. I'll start soon. I'm here waiting. Actually, there's an entrance. The entrance is through the parking lot over there. Since I came on foot, pedestrians have to walk all the way to buy the ticket. Let's start the experience. Guys, in the museum, besides learning about things related to gravity, they also tell us a bit about Ecuadorian culture. We visited the house of a woman who lived to 110. It's original, and there's even a photo of her here. Some habits like eating guinea pig, they still do that today. Can you believe it? For us, it's a pet, right? Such a cute little animal, the most beautiful thing, but they keep it alive here, catch it and eat it. That still happens today. Now, what caught my attention the most here was this head shrinking that a tribe in Ecuador used to do. They would take the enemy's head, remove the skull, heat it up, sew the mouth shut, and shrink it to be about the size of a fist, like a really small hand. It's wild, but this lasted until the 1930s.
This line was calculated in 2000 using military global positioning system technology.
This museum is the Equator line.
One of these points, because remember that the line crosses through several points and you're passing through one of the many points that exist around.
That's very interesting. I've now reached the actual Equator line, since the previous one was just a monument celebrating the 200th anniversary of that expedition I mentioned. You'd take the global positioning system and set it, this is the right spot. The Equator line is here, but I don't notice any difference in my life. People say there's more balance here. Let's find out if that's true. There's even a shoe here. Try putting one foot in and let the other kid try too to see if you balance better. No, guys, it didn't get any better. No, it's supposed to be more balanced here, right? A more balanced line. Look, man, not to create a more balanced line. Man, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I feel it's nothing. I know, no, but that's it, right? We didn't pay much, so it's fine. And Itina, which is the name of the museum, means Path of the Sun. So we're at the Museum of the Path of the Sun, and they did the experiments exactly on this line. Because if you come here in the summer, you'll see that the sun is right above, so high up that there's no shadow here. You wouldn't have a shadow if you were here during the summer, right? Especially during the summer solstice, the sun is so centered, so directly above, that you can't see your own shadow. So if you're someone who's afraid of shadows, you can come here to the equator. You don't need to worry, it won't appear here in the summer. There's even some sunshine now and you can see the sundial. But they didn't use the sundial the same way we do in other parts of the world, because here the sun is divided between two hemispheres. So for half the year, 6 months, one side would work, and for the other 6 months, the other side of the clock would work. So in this case here, the sundial. They used it more to understand the seasons of the year and not necessarily to tell the time like we do in other parts of the earth where the sun isn't divided, right? We're so divided here that half the sun is north and half is south. It takes a year to go around with one side in the southern hemisphere and the other in the northern. Look, this is the sundial they used. See, it's showing the time here, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, exactly the time it is now. Pretty different, right? The sundial they used had two sides, one for the 6 months after the first equinox and another for the next 6 months. This is really interesting. How your geographic location totally changes your way of seeing the world. By the way, do you know why leap years exist? Leap years happen because every day we have 4 extra minutes. So each day, actually, it's not exactly 24 hours. There are 4 extra minutes. At the end of the year, that's 6 extra hours. Every 4 years, we have a leap year with an extra day. February 29 that. And here we really understand the Coriolis effect, which was described by a scientist who said that on Earth, my sun, nothing stays still because it's always spinning. This also explains why Earth is a sphere flattened at the poles, since everything spins much faster in the middle. But at the poles, everything spins much more slowly because the pole rotates much more slowly than the middle. In the middle, it's much more intense. So that's why when you throw something up, it will never come back exactly to the place where you threw it. These are really interesting phenomena in your life that maybe you've never stopped to think about, guys. Now comes the coolest part of the experiments, which I like the most. Now let's learn why water spins differently in the north and south.
Let's find out how logical what we just saw is, but in a less theoretical and more practical way. Let's see. If I lift the lid, the idea is that the water will drain to the center. This is normal.
We're heading to the southern hemisphere now.
And in the middle if I'm in the south. In the middle if I'm not in the south.
Southern hemisphere. Let's see if anything changes.
Ready? Let's do the same thing.
Wow. Oh my God, it changes a lot. It's real.
This is the reaction of a phenomenon called Coriolis.
He moved his stand north. Let's see if that changes things. Now the water should spin the opposite way. Wow, that's cool. Egg time! I really wanted to do this one.
Let's get this game started, shall we?
Yes?
Let's put one foot on each side. You can see it's a regular egg, that's important. We need to rest our wrists. This is also very important. We rest our wrists. And we slowly move the base so that it reaches a neutral balance point. There you go.
Guys, I'm gonna try to balance the egg. They say this is a real egg, right? Is it a real egg or not?
It's a real egg?
Really? Let's see. They say this is the easiest place for an egg to stand upright. Let's find out. I did it! Thank God. People, seriously, look, it was easier than in Macapa. Oh, thank you. Guys, this is a test for you to try to balance yourself in the middle of the world, because the Earth's rotation pulls you from one side to the other, from one side to the other. And it's the hardest place in the world for you to really walk. Interesting, right?
Today is December 22nd.
If you balance the egg, you even got a certificate, my son. No joke. Things are serious here. What did you think of the Equator line experience? I'm going to call Estevam here to wrap up the video, and you comment, okay, what did you think, guys? And even though it's cold, the day isn't very nice, it's actually pretty cinematic. See that cloud over the mountains? We're at latitude 00000 right here, correct? They say that the monument over there is 240 meters away from the real 00000 latitude of the planet. And I hope you enjoyed getting to know the middle of the world with me, but tell me, is it a bit disappointing, or did you actually expect this from the middle of the world here at the equator? If you enjoyed it, like and comment which destination you want on the channel. Remember, you're amazing and can achieve anything. If you'd like to support my team and me, click become a member. We truly appreciate it. Thanks, and see you in the next video. Also, check out the other Ecuador videos. They're great.